What's up, everybody? Big Hurt, Fresh Out. We got another dope interview with you guys, and we got OG Badger here. He's gonna tell his story, and a lot of you guys have been requesting, so I finally got the opportunity to get my homeboy to sit down with me. So stay tuned and listen up to what this man has to say. So Badger, man, how'd you grow up, man? What was like your childhood, your youth like, man?
It was okay, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have it real bad, but my mom hated me. I looked like my dad. My stepdad just couldn't stand me. So I was never trying to be at home. I was always out running with the crowd, smoking weed. You know, drugs are a big part of my story. So smoking weed, drinking alcohol, you know, whatever, not coming home, sneaking out, go home, get ass whooping, take off. You know what I mean? Like, that was the cost of staying out. Had to go home and get the ass whooping first.
Exactly.
Now I got an excuse, right?
Yeah.
So it went like that for a minute. And then when I was young, I got caught stealing an earth mover in Bullet City, Arizona. And it ripped up like millions of dollars and shit.
Oh, shit.
Just trying to figure out how to drive this thing.
The earth.
So, yeah, like, and that was pretty much it as far as mom and dad were concerned.
Yeah.
They were like, you're going to foster care, you know, the whole story.
Yeah.
So, you know, I heard a little bit of your story. I turned to my friends too. You know what I mean? And it was never the good friends. I assure you. You know, I got put in a Christian foster home, which gave me a real bad taste on religion. You know, everything was, I'm going to hell.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, I've heard that.
Lady, I'm already living in hell. So, yeah, that's how it went for a while. I mean, I had very loving grandparents. I didn't get in many fights, which puts a twist on my story later on in life. You know what I mean? Like, because before I had gone to the county jail, Mins County Jail, I said I was 18 when I was 17.
Oh, shit.
So that I didn't have to go to the halls again.
Yeah.
So
that fucking halls. I'm in
shit.
Halls is worse than the county.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? 3-second rule there.
It's on site.
No red jello.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it was just ridiculous. So I said I was 18. I got pulled over for driving on a suspended license, 14601.
Okay.
And I was sent to Min Central, and I was given 30 days. And at day 17, I caught me another charge in there.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah, which the Department of Corrections took the next 20 years of my life from me.
Fuck.
So, yeah, I'll be 51 this month, and you know, I still have, you see where we're at.
Yeah.
We're in beautiful fucking Malibu, California right now.
Yeah.
And that's as a result of not being involved in the criminal behavior that I bit into. You know, it's a lifestyle being in there. As I told you earlier, our world is so small and our mindset is even smaller, you know, and the only thing that my people taught me in the state of California, I don't know about the feds, but was hate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing but. And I had a little trouble with that in the beginning because my name had a green light on it for a minute. And
oh, shit.
yeah.
What does a green light mean for people who don't know?
A green light means I'm a hit on sight. Take me out.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? By the Mexicans. And that was pretty horrifying. You know what I mean? I didn't even know what it was about. I mean, I found out later and it all got cleaned up, but it was almost too late. You know, I mean, 6 torpedoes were coming down our tier.
Oh, shit.
And 2 monstrous black Crips stood up and said, "What's up? Where you guys heading?" And we're going to get that skinhead. You know, and they both said, "Nah, that's our skinhead. You ain't coming on the tier."
Oh, shit.
So, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of shit was confusing to me early on.
So what made them step in like that?
Respect.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? I never disrespected anybody. I did as I was taught. You know what I mean? I respect everybody. And then if they don't have it coming, you know what's up.
Well, you know what? It's funny you say respect, because I tell a lot of people, one of my best friends in the feds was a white guy. You know what I mean? He actually, against the will of his homeboys, bought me some shoes for Christmas because my shoes are fucked up. So he looked out for me. And because the way you carry yourself, it can cross over racial lines to some degree in prison, because people see that you carry yourself a certain way.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's many situations like that. Excuse me. So I was in Men's Central Jail fighting my case for 3 years. I was 20 years old when I hit Tracy.
Okay.
And I walked in there and I was just like horrified. Where in the fuck did they send me, Mom? You know what I mean? That's all that's going through my mind. Now, mind you, this is after 3 years in the county.
So you've been in the county already fighting your case and everything?
Fighting my case, correct, yeah. I was up in 3400 Charlie Row for 11 murders.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's nothing nice, you know. And finally, I just took off on a cop to get my own cell.
Wow.
You know, I mean, you can call it a PC move or whatever.
Yeah.
He was mouthing me. I was tired from court.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck this. I don't feel like waiting anymore. And, you know, I mean, I paid the price dearly for that. They hung me down in 1750.
Oh, shit?
Yeah.
Hung you?
They hung me, yeah, to where I had to stand on my tippy toes. And every time I'd come off my tippy toes, I would be choking myself out.
Oh, shit.
So it would appear that if I did go out,
that you
I took myself out.
Wow.
Right? It wasn't a bad move on their part.
Wow.
But they're treacherous like that, especially in the
This
sheriff's
is LA County.
Los Angeles County, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's nothing nice there. You know what I mean?
I tell people all the time, man, the police, man, in Sac County, they used to put a helmet on you and whoop your ass so you getting, no blunt head trauma. But they'd fuck you up on the elevator ride.
Oh, they skip the helmet here.
They don't give a fuck,
No.
huh?
I seen one of your people on the 9,000th floor spit on the Duke. There's a big, beautiful painting of John Wayne, and he never made it to the elevator.
Wow.
Yeah, just behind spitting on a fucking wall.
Fuck.
You know, and that's the sheriffs.
They don't fuck around.
They don't fuck around. They used to call 9500 hell on earth. The kids of today don't know nothing about that. You know what I mean? There'd be like 8 white dudes over by the toilet, and then the rest is all, others.
Wow.
So, and we had it bad, you know. I remember one day the sheriffs walked in and they're, "Oh, you fucking punks, get on your rack." And I'm thinking to myself, well, I ain't no fucking punk, so I ain't getting on my rack. Bad move.
Oh,
you know?
shit, what happened?
So, it's a funny story, actually. So what happened was, he starts yelling and pointing at me, and I just pretend like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to see what he's saying, so he calls me over. I go up there and I tell him, he says, "What's your fucking problem?" I go, "I'm dickly patent deaf. Couldn't hear what you were saying." You know what I mean? Playing it off, bro. So, sends me to the hall, gives me the spread leg therapy, you know what I mean? The head bumping on the wall a couple times. And the sergeant walks up and he goes, "What's your fucking problem?" I said, "You guys hit me in the head with a flashlight and I can't hear dickly patent out of this ear." And so, you know what I mean? I got a little orange vest. I got sent back in with no problems. Well, the next day, I don't know if you know who Totino is, but he was our gang coordinator in the county jail forever. So he got killed on the train wreck going to the commuter train that crashed.
Oh, okay.
He was killed on that. But the next morning I'm walking to chow. This is back when you still got out of your cell to walk to chow. And he's all, "Beaver, Beaver." And I'm like, my name ain't Beaver, so I'm just going to keep walking. He goes, "Badger." And I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? And I hear the cop tell him, "Don't bother, bro. That dude's 60% deaf." I'm like, "No, man,
shit.
Please, God." You know, like one of the times I reached out to a God I didn't believe in. And I walk over and there's cops just getting red, bro. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm about to have a bad day. You know? He told it. Fortunately, Totino just goes, "Hey, man, go get your shit. You're going to the modules." I'm like, fair enough. The cop looks and, "Let me see you again." You know what I mean? And I believed him.
Oh,
you know what I mean? I did not want that man to see me again. So, yeah, I was young. I was retarded, you know what I mean? And I got into any mix that I could. I remember the first time I walked out, I had no sense of importance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just a chubby kid in the county jail and scared.
Yeah.
Everything I did, I know today, was out of fear. You know what I mean? I would be as vicious as I could, as cruel as I could. After the first incident, I did catch a rush on it, you know what I mean?
Did you have like an OG in there kind of like putting you under their wing, or did somebody kind of lace you up, or?
Put me under their wing. You mean trying to keep me? Yeah, trying to keep me. I won't go into his name.
Yeah.
But Law and Order did a film on him and all this.
Shit.
So yeah, I did what he told me to do, and that's if that's under your wing, keep me out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, under your wing would be like, hey, kid, just shut the fuck up and
Yeah.
do your little thing, you know? But that's not my story, you know? I'm young, I'm stupid, I'm fucking crashing in every car I can. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I walked around beat up, couldn't breathe for a while, ribs broken, you know, the whole nine.
Wow.
So, anyway, we were up in the modules together, and I wanted to get him. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, I'm looking at all this time because of this dude telling me what to do, you know? And I rode a kite to who I knew had the county at the time, and I gave it to the trustee thinking that it was going to go from him to 1750, and all the kites went through this other individual.
Oh.
So he gets my kite, and he opens it and reads it, and he's like, yeah, Badger, that's a go. Go ahead and handle that. You know, talk about feeling sick, because he was a hog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I wanted to get him from behind. You know how we do it. So,
Yeah.
on the way to the showers, just ain't fucking an empty towel, I'll tell you that. But fortunately for me, he was SP3'd that night, which means he caught the chain to the state.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? So I was like, phew, dodged a bullet there. But our penal system's small. It's real small.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
word travels, you know, and the word was, hey, this kid's got heart. He wanted to move on, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was all pluses for me when I got to the house.
Yeah.
You know, and as I said, walking into Tracy at 20 years old, I was like, where'd they send me, man?
Yeah, Tracy, man, Gladiator School.
Yeah, DVI, Dual Vocational Institute. When you walk in, they say, welcome to the last real yard in California, man. You know, and I think they meant it at the time. You know, it was off the chain. So I'm also known as D17455 by the state. So that's a pretty old number, you know.
Wow. So what happens when you first hit the yard at Tracy, man? I mean, like, what's like going through your mind, or what's the process? Because I know a lot of times, you know, they try to tell your homeboys over here, or you gotta like check in with this dude. I mean, what was happening?
I had known another individual there. I'd been in the county so long that I had known another individual from the San Fernando Valley. And I was like, hey, what's up, bro? Where are the heads? And you're like, bro, heat's going on with them right now. What? I was like, just point them out, you know? And I walked up, and I felt a little disrespected at first. This is day one there. And they were like, hey, youngster, we'll get at you later. I'm like, so you're just going to let me walk the yard by my fucking self?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how I felt. But they were walking laps, and they ended up putting a lawnmower blade through someone's chest and putting a hat on it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, I'm glad they didn't want me involved in their shit today, you know?
A lawnmower blade?
The lawnmower blade, yeah. There was no tower at Tracy at the time. There's a tower there now.
Yeah.
But two heads laid down next to him like they were tanning with him.
Wow.
Got up and rolled out, you know what I mean?
Wow.
First day, I'm like, this is fucked.
Fuck.
You know?
And how much time were you looking at that time? How much time were you doing?
Actually, I had gotten 12 for a manslaughter.
Yeah.
So I got 12. Back then it was still half, or
Okay.
you go to the board.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so I had 12 years at the time. But I already knew that was going to get turned into another magical number. You know, just knowing, just that day alone right there, we came to a reality, you know?
Of what you were looking at?
Yeah, I knew that I probably wasn't ever coming home.
Fuck.
You know, to be out here, to be on the ocean, to be with you, you know what I mean? That's fucking magical to me, bro. You know?
And what, like, as far as like, for a lot of people who don't understand like the politics, man, I know, and the, you know, feds is different than the state, man. Like, what were the politics in the state, man?
The politics, we don't play in tournaments. We don't talk to other races. The way I run, we don't talk to any other races. You know what I mean? Unless it's for real.
Yeah.
It's a serious powwow. You know what I mean? That's the only time I don't joke with other races. I don't play with other races. You know what I mean? I don't do anything along those lines. You know? There was a lot of activity going on at that time between different sets in there. They were just slamming one set, and then another set was starting up, and it was all bad, you know, like, and they flourished because they were all just like me, somebody wanting to belong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fucking lost, all of us, you know. Eventually they slammed all them, you know, but I don't know, like we were talking earlier, you said, have you seen? Man, I don't watch none of that shit. You know, I fucking lived that shit for 20 years.
I know, I tell people all the time, it's like, oh, Herc, why don't you start reviewing all the prison movies, man, and blah, blah. I said, dude, I don't want to look at that shit.
Oh, shit.
You know, when I was in prison, dudes used to watch Cops, and I didn't understand it. Why the fuck you watching Cops when we're locked up? We're doing fucking decades, man, and you motherfuckers are watching Cops. I don't want to watch any of that shit. So, you know, I don't really, a lot of the movies, I don't really have an opinion on them, because I don't want to watch that shit. And like I said, I know you lived it, man, so I would rather just get the real, man. I mean, there's no need to glamorize that shit, because ain't nothing glamorous about it.
Ain't nothing glamorized about it, man. And even if you didn't believe in God, you were praying that day. You know what I mean? Like, because I had no sense of a higher power or religion or anything along those. And then what I did, you know, I was told which religion I was going to follow, and that's what I still follow to this day. I'm a heathen, you know, but I have God's everywhere to me, you know, and I'm spiritual today. It wasn't always that way. I always figured, I mean, we have a motto, you know what I mean? Women have the right to say no, and no short eyes on the yard, you know, and
what does that mean for those who don't know short eyes?
Short chomos, child molesters,
that's right.
Baby rapers, insects.
And as far as like, you know, I tell people, like, when you hit the yard, you got to bring your paperwork. As far as I know, you guys don't play around with that shit.
No, and that's no longer possible. You can't get your paperwork anymore.
Oh, they stopped that?
Yeah, because I mean, the 2-5 yard is the new. The 2-5 yard means PC yard, placenta yard, whatever, special needs yard. You know what I mean? That's the new main line.
Wow.
Everyone's getting in trouble over a $50 puck of tobacco.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, a smear of dope or whatever, you know, and their prison career is fucking ruined forever, you know? So, and now you got to live with pieces of shit.
Yeah, all
you know
day.
What I mean? All day. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine being sold with a child raper?
No, there's no way, man. I mean, because it's supposed to be on site. If you know motherfuckers like that and you ain't did nothing, they're gonna do something to you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You can't harbor that.
Yes.
You know.
No.
What was you know, your experience at Tracy, man? How long were you there? And you know, how'd you try to deal with the time while you were there?
So, as I said, I got into a lot of reading. You know what I mean? I didn't really read when I went to prison, but I, you know, pretty much self-taught, and plus it's a school, dual vocational institute. My first job was to go to school, and then I worked at the mini canteen, and I had an older head that worked in the mini canteen as well.
Okay.
So he really took me under his wing, like no bullshit, not trying to keep me bullshit. You know, he took me under his wing, told me the rights and the wrongs, because I would get in trouble over stupid shit like touching the rail in the chow hall. You know what I mean? That's like an automatic 88 seconds, you know?
Yeah.
Nobody can go 88 seconds without getting winded anymore. But it was automatic, you know what I mean? 14 seconds in the cell for getting beat up for touching the railing.
Touching the railing?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And that was because you just touched it.
Wow.
Or he just touched it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know how people are, and they're rubbing their nuts all the time, and they're touching, you know what I mean? So that was a major no-no. Yeah, just learning the rules, man, and having to learn them quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Walking into your cell and not paying attention to anything that's in there. None of that shit's mine, so why look at it?
Exactly.
Why pick it up? Why touch it? You know, if I'm a guest in your house, I'd still ask if I could sit on your bed. You know what I mean? Everything was crazy respect. And 20 years old, you're like wanting to, you know, thinking we're on top of the world, and that is not how the house was ran back then.
Yeah.
You know, I know this is a Fresh Out series, but if I could be sitting here today and say that I'd never gone to prison, I'd be a happier man. You know what I mean? I did hear one of your interviewers, or one of your questions asked you is, why don't you see it as a positive experience? You know, and I've tried that so hard, so long, so many times. You know, there was nothing fucking positive about it.
Somebody asked me about, were you ever happy in prison? Fuck no. You try to maintain a sense of sanity, but as far as the joke, acting like this is a joke, laughing, kidding around, it's serious. Ain't no fucking kidding around up in there, man. It's fucking serious, man.
Wait till you live by yourself 23 hours a day.
Yeah, so, you know, I always tell people that it's not a joke in there. You're not running around happy and singing, you know, kumbaya and shit, man. And I know that you got a lot of stories where you've seen just how serious it is because people don't understand the rules of the game.
Well, we figure by the time you get to the house, you should know the rules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everyone's always got a story or whatnot. But this is what happened. You know what I mean? We'll come to the back and tell us about it. You know what I mean? We'll learn about it back there. So,
I remember you were talking about how a dude showed up and he didn't realize what the fuck was going on, and that was his last day on the yard.
Right. So they were probably 19, maybe 20 years old, a white and a black kid, and they'd grown up through junior high school, playing football and whatnot, and the black kid was already on the yard, and the white kid showed up and gets all excited. He sees his homeboy from the streets, you know what I mean, and runs up and hugs him in front of God and everybody,
fuck.
you know, and all races sort of just stopped on the yard. I mean, like, it drew a lot of attention to him, and then they didn't leave it at that, like a hug and later, hey, I'll talk to you later, you know. What he did was he took his water, it was actually a coffee, he drank off his coffee, and he gave it back to his homeboy. And needless to say, that was his last day on the yard, and that was his last day on Earth.
Fuck.
You know, 20 years old. So, and these are common stories. They're so common in the state of California, you know.
Yeah, it's
on average,
sad,
11 CDC officers are assaulted on a daily basis throughout the state of California. So
it's fucking crazy, man. I mean, you know, I tell people like the hate that's inside of prison, when they talk about like, you know, prison being about reform, dude, you have to rehabilitate yourself, man. There is no rehabilitation in prison, man.
No, zero.
You know what I mean? The warden and the guards, they all endorse all the politics because they know that's how they keep the prison ran.
So this is how it goes. We get together, we're moving on CDC officers because they're fucking with us, or we want TVs, or we want whatever. Because I was there for all that time when we were getting shit for the people of today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we paid a big price for that shit. So what they would do to get us off of them, the focus off of them, is they would bring a bus full of rapists, child molesters, whatever, put them on the yard. So now we got a new focus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're like sheep in there.
Wow.
And we're easily deterred, you know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden our focus is no longer on the police, it's now on these guys.
It's funny you say that. It's not funny, but it's funny you say that because I remember being at places and what they would do to stir the pot up in the same situation when everybody was tripping off the institution, they'd bring in a shot caller from another fucking race to kind of like now get them focused on getting him off the yard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it created, it just kicked off a riot.
Right. So earlier I told you about assaulting a sheriff, being hung in 1750. Well, the story goes, there's a little piece missing from that story. So this happened at Wayside. Mm-hmm. So medium north, which was a pretty rough facility, but they took me after they beat the shit out of me and put me in a crip module.
Oh shit.
All crips. You know what I mean?
Oh shit.
And they're all sitting over there playing chess and cards and shit, and they throw me in there with my bedroll, and someone comes up and he's all, hey, is you a yellow baby? And I'm like, no, bud. They put me in here for you guys to smash me. What'd you do? Took off on one of them. Shit, come on over here.
Oh shit.
So yeah, like, your people had every opportunity to do with me as they pleased, you know what I mean? They got a green light by the sheriffs to do it.
Wow.
And fucking call me over, tell them to watch. They were respectful and didn't offer me anything to drink or smoke with them, you know what I mean? Because just would turn into another situation.
Yeah.
And they knew that, the elders knew that. And the sheriffs walked by like 20 minutes later and they're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Pulled me out.
Wow.
Fucking put me on a van straight back to the county jail.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they were hoping they would have handled the business for them.
Right.
Wow. They want the Crips to do their dirty work.
Right. You know what I mean? Figure I wouldn't make it out of there.
Fuck.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's amazing what your name can do for you. You know what I mean? Like, and I doubt if any of them knew my name.
Yeah.
But how you carry yourself in there, you know what I mean? Like if I would have been like, oh yeah, for sure, cuz.
Yeah.
Whatever, I'd have been smashed.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, I just told them straight up, this is what they did. I mean, you guys are the sharks, I'm the goldfish right now. Where are we at?
Yeah.
I mean, if I got to go to the back, then let's go to the back, you know? So, not that I would have wanted to, but
yeah.
like that's how you have to approach things. You know what I mean? You can't ever show any weakness, man. Somebody comes up to try and check you for your store or anything, you better get beat the fuck up for that shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I tell people, like, I say if somebody calls you a name out of pocket, or if somebody spreads the rumor that you're fucking with homos, there is no talking about it. You got to go and that's a wrap.
Fucking pop a razor.
Yeah.
You know?
What was your experience? You know, I heard you say you've been to the shoot. What was your experience in the shoot, man? Because I know you've been through every facet of the system, man. I know a lot of people always ask me about that.
So, day one in the shoe, Corcoran shoe, 4A1 right. I go back there. I'm like, this sucks. It's a 180. You know, I mean, the cells are red. They're about that big. The doors are about that big. The door. You know what I mean? Holes in it. And so to the left of me was a BGF, old school BGF, black gorilla family. And then to the right was a northerner. And I'm a skin.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I'm fucked. Fucking any chance these doors open. But instead of that being the case, the BGF guy was like, hey, skin, I'm gonna shoot you over a little care package. I'd prefer if you didn't. You know what I mean? Like, he like, yeah, all right. He goes, your people will get at you soon. And they did, you know what I mean? They tell me, hey, it's not like that back here. We know that when the doors open, it's on, but we look out for each other because some of us got nothing. And I'm that guy who's got nothing, you know what I mean? Just a broke skin in there. And, but it didn't matter. Like, all the shit I did to get back here was all the shit that you're telling me that we don't do back here.
Yeah.
So,
contrary to everything.
Once again, fucking mind fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who's trying to put me in a cross right now? You know, because in the back, we like you, we'll keep you. We'll figure out a way to keep you. You know what I mean? Date, no date, EPRD, any of that shit. Earliest possible release date, any of that shit is gone. You know what I mean? If you're back there, we're going to keep you. And we like you. Worse yet, we don't like you. We're going to keep you and we're going to get you. You know what I mean? So your mind's just going to be fucking nutters. You know, there's a lot of people that come out and can't reform. You know what I mean?
Institutionalized, huh?
Well, it's not so much institutionalized. Sitting in a cell by yourself with all those fears, you know what I mean? Like, I've had a ton of fears myself, you know. I'm as well adjusted today as I am because of an anonymous program, and I know that, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't just do this for myself. It took being around other convicts. Hey, man, this is how we live out here. Because when I came out, I was not right. You know what I mean? I did not leave the room. I was fucking still in the shoe with a bigger TV.
Wow.
You know, it was not cool at all. My mom was like, who are you? You know what I mean? Well, shit, if you'd have visited in the last 20 fucking years, you'd know.
Yeah.
You know?
So you didn't get no visits in the pen?
No visits, no mail, no nothing. I did write.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're cool with this, but I wrote Narcotics Anonymous down in Van Nuys, and they sent me a pamphlet and booklets and all that shit. That's like the only mail I ever got back there.
That's crazy, because I did, when I did my Fed time, no visits, man, and it's like you got to try to hold on to something so that you don't just totally lose sight of what's outside those walls, you know what I mean?
I did that. I let go of everything. No old lady, no nothing. I fucking mentally just let go of everything. You know, I couldn't hold on to nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because as a grown man, as a ruffian, as whatever, you know, I was a predator. You know what I mean? In there.
Yeah.
I fucking hunted people that didn't belong with us, you know, and I was as violent as I could be with them. That kept your people away from me.
Yeah.
That kept my people away from me, and that kept them away from me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I did some fucked up shit. And I felt that there was no God, you know what I mean, and these people need to suffer. You know what I mean? They made someone else suffer, I'm going to make them suffer. And that was my mindset.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm a badass. I'm not.
No,
you know
it just is what it is.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? Whatever it means or at my disposal, I will use. You know?
How did you ever get to the point where you seen yourself getting closer to getting out and you prepared yourself mentally? I mean, or did you ever try to prepare yourself to get out?
I didn't believe it was going to happen. So about a year before I was supposed to come home, I caught another case. So, and I was thinking I was going to court. So I'm trying to figure out who's telling on me. You know what I mean? Like, who's fucking telling on me? So, 94 DNA started coming out big time. You know what I mean?
Oh, so, they started looking at all the old cases.
Everything. You know what I mean? So, well, it wasn't even an old case. It was a case that occurred in there.
Okay.
So, and I was flushing my shirt, and I threw bleach in the toilet and threw my boots in there. And my cellie had been down since the year I was born. So he had been down since 67. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, this is like 99 or something, somewhere in that, around 99. So they're pulling people out of each cell, trying to figure out what happened to this other individual. And they get to my cell, they pull him out by himself. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So
usually have people come out in twos.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Things aren't looking good for Mr. Badger.
Oh, shit.
So when they pull me out, they take me straight to a phone booth. You know what I mean? And I knew at that point that I was fucking through, but I didn't think he was telling on me.
Yeah.
I thought somebody else may have said something, and then he was pulled out, and they were asking him, and I'm sure he was going to say no, like we'd lived together.
Yeah.
You know? But, yeah, that's not the case. He definitely was telling on me.
Wow.
So anyway, you know, the term NHI, no humans involved, it's basically how it was written up. And when they came to get me from the hole, they said, hey, roll it, Transpac. And I was like, where am I going? I thought I was going to the county jail to start fighting the case. And he goes, you're going to New Folsom B Yard. And I'm like, but he goes, just shut up and roll your shit up. I'm like, all right, I'll roll with that. You know what I mean? So for the next year anyway, I sat in total fear that they were going to pull this charge back up on me. They were going to have DNA. They were going to have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, I don't know what happened to my cellie, but he was no longer telling. You know what I mean? That's all I do now.
Yeah.
So, like, anybody you think you can trust, you can't. Anything that I ever did was for someone else's benefit, you know? When we get told to do shit, there's usually a reason that the person telling us to do it is benefiting from it in some way.
Yeah.
And it's always about money or dope.
Those are the two biggest things in
Money
pen.
or dope, yeah. Always. You know, if we got to move on, do why? You know, it's not really our job as soldiers to ask why.
Yeah, just do.
Just go. But as you start getting older, you want to know why.
Yeah.
I mean, why am I getting ready to leave the yard right now? So, you know, and they don't really like when you ask questions because, you know what I mean? Like, everybody wants to be the top guy till they are. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to get next to the top guy because they get the free dope or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? There's nothing fucking free in the institutions, as you well know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You may be getting the dope today and this and that, but when they move on him for making a bad call and you're his fucking soldier,
Yeah, you're right
you're
there.
getting moved on too. You know what I mean? New regime. You know, it's just like that. So they say, oh, you always hear the saying, it ain't a puzzle. Fucking the Penitentiary of California is one giant puzzle, bud. You know what I mean? Just when you think you got shit figured out, the rules shift.
Wow.
So, you know, I understand. You just done Fed time only?
Yeah, Fed and just, juvie and
YA.
YA, yeah.
So you got an idea of YA.
Yeah.
You know, where'd you go, Nellis?
Preston.
Preston? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got an idea of what's going on. You didn't really fuck with us there. You know what I mean? So we didn't fuck with you.
Yeah.
So, and me and you shaking hands or hugging, which I'll hug anybody I want today. You know what I mean? I'm not a dropout. You know what I mean? I'm just not active, as I told you. You know, I don't promote any of that shit. If I could talk a kid out of joining that route, I do. You know, I work in treatment. So these kids come in thinking it's glorious to go there. I'll tell them to Google your shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? And generally I'll try and have a talk with them. Whether they're running my way or not, it doesn't matter. White, black, Mexican, I just talk them all and let them know the real.
People ask me all the time, am I glad that I went to prison? Because if I wouldn't have went to prison, what would have happened? And if I could have done anything different? And I tell him, man, that's like, to be honest, man, I wish I would have never went and seen that part of life. And if I could have stuck with school or did something different, because I turned it into a positive at the same time, man. I could have came out and never really been back here and to do what I'm doing now. So it's like, I feel I got lucky, and I know you, from what you've been through, I know you feel, blessed to have the ability to sit here now and have this conversation, man, because, you've been through a lot of shit, man.
Blessed is a fucking wonderful word. I love it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Once my behavior changed out here and I was able to function. So I told you I have an old number, D17455. I go to 6th to St. Paul, it was high control parole. I go down there, my parole, I'm going to say a word that may be uncomfortable, but he said it first. So my parole officer's a hog, man. I mean, his shirt would have looked like a dress on me, and I was big at the time.
Yeah.
And he comes up and he goes, I understand you're a nigger-hating neo-Nazi. And he's black, you know what I mean? And I'm like, 420 Boucher Street or what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I going to say to him? Yeah. And he goes, don't worry about it, so am I. And I'm like, what the fuck? Oh. And he goes, this is an old number. He goes, I want it back. And in my head, I'm like, you can have the motherfucker today, you know what I mean? But when they took that number from me, Herc, I was like, who the fuck am I? Yeah. Who am I today? You know what I mean? Like, I had no identity after that, Once again, another confusing situation, you know what I mean? Yeah. Why is this black guy helping me? Yeah. You know what I mean? If he thinks I'm all that, why is he trying to help me? Yeah. And he did. He tried to help me in every way imaginable, you know what I mean? And towards the end, I started getting fucked up, and I was like, I can't give this number back. You know what I mean? I started using it again, and I went in to tell him, and he already had my discharge card.
Oh, shit.
And he goes, I go, hey, bud, I need to talk to you. He goes, nah, don't say nothing, man.
Oh, shit.
He goes, don't say nothing. And he hands me that card.
Wow.
And I felt stripped of all identity right then and there.
So you were so tied into that fucking prison number?
Yeah. 26 years I had it. You know what I mean? Like 4 years on parole. You know what I mean? Like, it was traumatic, And I remember walking through work change, you're hearing J number, J's whatever, P numbers, you know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, already? Because it took a long time to go, almost 10 years to go through the D numbers. Yeah. And then the E numbers came out, and the H numbers, and they started getting shorter and shorter on the span, and now they're like double or triple numbers. I don't know what it is, but it's crazy. Like, it's just a market. It's a market. It's a market.
I remember, well, in YA, I had a M number, so if I fucked up, I went to the PN. So I had, it's like he said, man, to break that cycle, man, and to actually be able to function on a free level, man, it's like, it's a hell of a thing, man, because the system it wants to keep its claws in you, man.
Well, once you are a number, it will do a damn good job of keeping its claws in you. And you know what? We're going to assist in that because that's what we know. Does that make sense? Yeah. We're going to help them keep us because we're going to keep doing the janky behavior. We're going to keep doing the bang, bang, blood gang or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to continue to do that because our fucking world is so small. You know what I mean? Like, my horizons today are, I love your inspirational shit on Instagram. I watch it every time. I'll stop and watch yours. I don't watch all that ridiculous stuff, but I'll stop and watch yours and I'll be like, right on, thanks, Eric. And then I'll scroll through. But like, I take anything positive that I can today and I try and insert it in here. You know what I mean? And that's what I need to do because I could slip back easily,
So what's some of the things that keep you grounded so that you can enjoy this?
All right, as I said, I'm a part of another anonymous program. So I have tons of people that are just like me, just like you, that go there, that have been down the same road. We don't even discuss this shit. It's fucking putrefying to us. You know what I mean? It's vomit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, people that think going to prison is glorious, go get a bite. You know what I mean? There's nothing glorious about it. most likely you're going to end up on a PC yard nowadays. You know what I mean? People get put in the hat quick. You don't want to be on the hard candy list trying to walk the main line. You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. Hard candy list is not a list to be on. So, you know, and when I was in there, I wanted to be a part of everything. You know what I mean? And then when I come out here, I had nobody, nothing. So I asked my people if I could step out and become a father, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be a dad now. That's what we're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm supposed to be raising my family. That's what all the bullshit talk that we talk in there, you know what I mean? But fucking ain't nobody, everybody's doing what they can to stay there. So they don't got to come out here and get a job and fucking be a man and fucking take their kids to the park or fucking show up when your kid's needing your help, you know what I mean? Which I've had to do, and I'm not very good at it. I'm not gonna lie. You can't teach what you haven't been taught. You can't give away what you haven't got. You know what I mean? These are facts, but I do everything I can by hanging out in the crew that I hang out with and going, hey bro, what do I do as a dad? I just want to kill a little fucker. You know what I mean? That's not what we do, we love him. You know what I mean? For me to hear love instead of hate, you just got to start replacing things. I had to. I'm not talking about anybody else. You guys want to ride that life, ride that life. You know what I mean? Like, I just choose not to today, you know, which the book is painted. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? It looks like what it looks like. Don't get me wrong. I've been caught slipping on the bus, had to get busy. You know what I mean? 5 girls jumped me one time because I got 14 on my neck. Oh, shit. You know what I mean? There's an 88 on the other side, though, people. And so... like, I've been caught slipping in the San Fernando Valley, you know what I mean? So, and what do I say? I'm 51, I'm not active. You ride with it, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I made this book, you know what I mean? And I got to roll with it. So,
what would you tell these youngsters out there, man, that, like, are trying to be, you know, these wannabe gangsters and, you know, they think this shit is cool, man?
Not everyone's street, bud. Not everyone is street.
I did a video about that too.
You did? Okay. Not everyone is street, you know what I mean? And if you ain't fucking smart out here, so you ain't gonna be smart in there. No. And odds are you're gonna end up on a fucking 2-5 yard or somewhere no good. You know what I mean? I mean, it's the prison system. There may be one good mainline yard left, and all the other yards are special needs yards now.
Wow.
So if there's 8 yards, there's 2 good yards. You know what I mean? And then what they do is they switch around so much, the yards, changing the yards, and they'll be like, so that way if you show up somewhere, I just came from Sentinella fucking D yard, you know what I mean? Like, well, ain't that yard no good? Yeah. You know what I mean? It was good when I was there, you know? So yeah, like people get twisted up just on something that quick. You know what I mean? He may be a solid dude, but he said he came from this yard, and they're not, the guys in there think they know everything or whatever. And, hey, dog, that yard ain't no good. Whoa, and that's how it gets started. And fucking then it flows and flows and flows. Next thing you know, a solid dude got fucked off. Wow. You know? I don't know, man. Like, it is part of my story, unfortunately, yet fortunately. You know what I mean? Because I am the man I am today. Who knows what I would have been had I stayed in school. Because at the time, I wasn't very good at school because I had no interest in it. You know what I mean? I'm getting ready to go back to school again right now. I just got through going to school for being a plumber, and I work in treatment. I could be doing, you know, like I keep my life busy, you know, mind, body, and spirit for me. You know, I go to the gym. I know it don't look like it, but I go to the gym, you know, I get up in the morning and I do what I need to do for me. I'm a real big into Bruce Lee's philosophy. Have you ever read up on it? He's sick with it, you know what I mean? Like his philosophies on things are just inspirational to me, you know? And like I just try and replace all the negative shit in here. And all those kids that are wanting to run that way, there's nothing you or I could say to stop them.
Yeah, you're right.
Nothing. Because everything I'm telling them right and saying right now is giving them wood. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. You know what I mean? Until they're stuck in that fucking scary ass position that day. Yeah. You know? Or they put a knife in your hand. Like I'd been in a couple fights, bro, and I think I got beat up most of them before my situation. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I went from Ernie to Badger. Yeah. Real fucking quick. You know, and I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it, you know. And if you got a rough life right now, nobody's gonna change it for you, man. Nobody. You got to change it yourself. If you're young and you're not sure what to do, there is counseling out there in schools. If you see you're heading down a wrong road, I mean, you asked me for advice. This is what I would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would seek my guidance counselor.
That's right.
I would, you know what I mean? Like, look at the true heroes. You know what I mean? And I know everybody hates the cops until they need one.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Everybody hates the fire department until they need a fire department. You know what I mean? Like, so you got to look at the real heroes out there. You know what I mean? The service. Fucking the service has saved so many people from going to prison. It's
That's
not
right.
even funny, you know? So there's lots of other things they could do. Lots of other focuses they could focus on. You know what I mean? If they're stuck in that pack because they're latchkey kids or whatever, you know, we're all out there. Runaways, latchkey kids, parents don't want us, whatever. You know what I mean? There ain't no food in the fucking refrigerator. All the shit's going on out there. You know what I mean? But for every negative that's out there, there is a positive. There is a YMCA. There is a fucking guidance counselor. There is a this. There is a that. You know, even if you just talk to a local sheriff that's walking a beat or something, be like, hey man, you got any suggestions for a youngster heading down a wrong road? I guarantee you, you're gonna get a list of suggestions.
Yeah.
Whether you choose to make those suggestions at 12, 13, I don't know.
Yeah.
Would I have? I doubt it. Yeah, I mean, would I have done any of the things that I just suggested back then? I doubt it. This is life's experience that's got me to be able to say, this is what I wish I had done.
Yeah.
You know? I'm looking at these guys surfing right now. It's just beautiful, you know what I mean?
Man.
Every day above dirt at this age is a beautiful day, you know? So.
Hey man, it's like a breath of fresh air, man, when I hear you talk about how you changed your life. And man, I can relate to everything you're talking about because like I've been there, and just us being able to communicate now, man, because like you said, when I was in YA, it's like you were on one line, I was on this line. But it's funny, when I went to fire camp, like I'm actually in touch with two of the white guys, the main dudes that was at fire camp with that came from YA, that was riding with like the white boys, but we were able to kind of like bridge that because of fire camp. And you know, me and you, man, being friends, man, we've known each other now for damn near almost 10 years, man. It's been like nine years, man. And it's just like I said, man, it's just being able to see people change their lives, man. I think it's a great thing. And that's what Fresh Out's all about, man. It's trying to show you guys something else, not glamorizing this shit and not trying to endorse any of it, but just share our experiences, man. So I really appreciate you doing this interview with us, man, and sharing your story, man.
Herc, it's always a pleasure, Doug.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Big Herc with Badger, man. Fresh Out.
Fresh out. Staying out.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.